Hey guys, this is Elias with Softly, and in this video we're gonna export JetEngine custom fields to an Excel file using WPL export. Now to get started, we need to select the post type we want to export here in All Export, New Export. So let's do that, and today we have properties, and we have 74 properties to be exported. Now if I go here to all properties, you will see that this is true. So let me just open that. Right. So we have a couple of simple text fields, a date picker field. These two are select fields, checkbox, number, radio, and here we have a JetEngine repeater with a bunch of data and 3 subfields inside of that. Then here in the media tab, we have a JetEngine gallery, a JetEngine media field, and 4 more simple text fields. So this is what we're gonna export here as properties. And if you wanted to maybe filter out some of the properties because maybe you don't want to export everything, right? Well, you can click here in Add Filtering Options and select some values from here. For example, say you only want the properties that have more than 2 bathrooms, right? So let's type in here bathrooms, right? Because this is the element we want to filter our properties by. And for the rule, I'm going to say greater than, and for the value 2. So I'm going to add this rule, and you can see that WPL export found only 4 properties that meet this criteria, right? So this is not what I'm going to do in this example, right? But this is just, guys, so you know you can do it if needed. So I'm going to delete this rule by clicking on this trash icon, right? And now we're back to 74 properties. So if I wanted to migrate all of these properties without making any changes to the export file, I could just click here on migrate properties and we will generate a file with everything inside properties, right? But if we wanted to maybe move some things around and do some crazy stuff with the data and the files type, well, we will need to click here on customize export file. So let's do that. And there you go, here is our export template, and each one of these elements are a column. So let me preview so you can see that better. We have already the title and the content, and all of these are just properties, right? So let me copy this and go back here to all properties, and let's find this one church card. Right, so here it is. We have our title, the description, and all of the other JetEngine fields we have here. Right, so let's go back here to the export template and we will find the JetEngine fields we want to export right here in the right panel. Now guys, for this you will need the JetEngine export add-on, so just keep that in mind. And we have 2 kinds of elements here. We have this one with black letters, and this is the field group, right? So inside that field group you will see all of these green elements, and all of these elements are the actual fields. So if I drag and drop this map address here and preview, you will see that the file is taking shape in real time. So let's keep dragging and dropping some stuff right here. Cool. Preview. And now you can see we have more data in our export template. Right, so there are a bunch of things we can do with our data here with and without PHP functions. For example, maybe say that you don't want this ID element because, I don't know, maybe you don't need it, right? Just drag and drop that off this box and it will disappear, right? And then maybe you want to change the name of these columns because maybe the column name you want is different, right? So let's change this title to, say, property name. All right, save, preview, and there you go. Now content, it's gonna be called description. That's more like it. Preview, and there it is, right? Now, guys, for this date first listed, I want a date format that's, I don't know, more friendly, right? So let's change that. Now, what you need to do to change the date format of a JetEngine date field is click on it, and you will find here these options: natural language, PHP, or Unix, right? So I'm gonna leave it as it is, and here for the date format, I'm gonna type in the maybe F, J, and Y. Yeah, save, preview, and there you have it, guys. We have a more friendly, more readable time format, right? So that's cool. Then here for the price, maybe we can add a dollar sign, right? So we know in which currency this is. So let's click on the price element. And well, we could use a quick PHP function, but for this, a more easy way of doing that will be to create a custom export field. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to give this a name. It's going to be called price, same as before. And I'm just going to type in here a dollar sign and drag and drop my price, like so. Save, preview, and there you go. How simple is that, right? So let's continue. Let's drag and drop our amenities, the square feet, the bathrooms and bedrooms, and pause here, right? So here for the amenities, you can see that we have a bunch of amenities here, and they are separated with pipes. Now this is not that pretty, right? So maybe we can change these pipes with, I don't know, say a comma, right? A comma and a space to make it more readable. So let's do that using a quick PHP function. Now to do that, you will need to click on the element you want to run your PHP function on, and then write your function here, right? So let's do that function, and this is gonna be called replace pipes, and I'm gonna, right? So data here, and this is gonna return str replace, and we're gonna look for our pipes, right? And we're gonna replace that with a comma and a space, and this is gonna be run in this data element, right? So let's close this up, save our function, copy its name, enable this, and paste the name of our function here. Now what this is gonna do is run this function, right? This function, which is this one, on this value. Now this value, it's going to be the field we have selected here. So if you wanted to run your function on, I don't know, say the ID, right, you will need to select the ID from here, right? Now I want to run this function on the amenities field, so I'm going to leave it like that. Save, preview, and there you have it. We have changed our pipes and we have turned them into commas, right? Comma and a space. And this is more readable, so I'm going to leave it like that. Cool. Now let's continue, guys. Here we have our rooms element, then gallery, floor plan, agent's name, then phone, email, and link for more details. Now let's preview. And I want to bring your attention, guys, to this rooms element. Now, if you remember, this rooms is a JetEngine repeater field. So as such, it has multiple fields inside of it, and you can add multiple items infinitely, right? Now WPL export will separate this field into whatever number of columns as fields this JetEngine repeater has, right? So in this case, we have room's name, measurement, and description, and all of its values are separated with pipes, as you can see here, right? So this entrance hallway, let me show you real quick, is this one right here, which is the first sub-element. Now this one doesn't have any measurement, but it does have a description. So what happens here? You can see that the first element is empty, but this here in the description is not. So this is the description for the first element, and this is the name of the second room, and this is the measurement for the second room. And right here is, where is it? Oh, here. Okay. Here is the description for the second room. So you get the idea, guys. And if you wanted to maybe set this up in a more orderly fashion, right? Because, I don't know, guys, maybe this is not how you need this. Well, WPL export gives you some flexibility when exporting JetEngine repeater fields. So let's click on the rooms element and enable this option that says display each repeater row in its own CSV line. So let's save that, preview, and Yeah, here it is. Here is our entrance hallway. And as you can see, all of the other elements are gone. They are just below that. You can see here the WC, the living room, and all of the other data, such as the measurements and the description, are just next to it, right? The only issue with this is that, as you can see, we no longer have any of the other data right here. So if you wanted to populate all of this with the same data, right, you can do that. Just go back to the JetEngine repeater and enable this fill in empty columns option. Now this says if enabled, each repeated row will appear as its own CSV line with all of the post info filled in for every column. Now let me save this and preview again so you can see we have our entrance hallway and our WC and living room, but all of the other post data is just below that, right? So this is more readable, that's nicer, but there is really not a right or wrong way of doing this. It just kind of depends on how you need your data, right guys? So here for the gallery, you can click on it and export this as media URLs, media IDs, or file names. That's up to you guys. That depends on what you need, right? You can see that here's our gallery, and here are all of our URLs. So if you copy that and paste that in your browser, you will see that the image shows up, right? And these images are separated with pipes. You can change that, or you can do whatever you like here, right? Now guys, I believe we have covered quite a bit here on this video. So how about we just continue? I believe this is good as it is. Maybe you might want to reorder this. In fact, let's actually do that. Let's drag and drop the listing type at the beginning. Maybe the availability is important too, and the amenities, right? And the price, of course. Yeah, let's put it here. And yeah, maybe the rest is good as it is, right? So let's preview, and you can see that the new order of the columns is shown here, so that's good. Now remember guys, we came here to export JetEngine custom fields to an Excel file. So let's select that from here on export type, spreadsheet, and Excel. Now if you wanted to export all of this in XML, you can do that too, right? Let me preview. And there you go, we have the same elements in the same order in this simple XML field. But if you wanted some more crazy XML format, you can just build your own with the custom XML field. Now we have other videos for that. So for now, let's just go back to Excel, right? And close this up and continue. Now guys, this is the final step here in WPL export for exporting our JetEngine custom fields. So it's like a summary, I guess. It says your export will run, you will export 74 properties, and you have these advanced options. Now I'm gonna just go over them real quick. The first ones are the scheduling options, and this is pretty neat for when you need to schedule your export and run it automatically or certain hours or days or whatever, right? So you can use automatic scheduling, which is a paid service. It costs $9 a month, but it has the advantage of being able to set this up right here in WordPress. So if you want this to run every single day, just enable all of these days and set up a time, for example, 12 a.m. And maybe you want to run this at, I don't know, 12 p.m. too, right? So you can set up here multiple times and it will run on this schedule. So it's very easy. Now this is a paid service, like I said before, but if you don't want to subscribe to that, you can always use cron jobs. And guys, cron jobs are free, but they are a little bit more technical. We have great documentation on them here, and you can always ask our support team, right? So if you send us all of the info and all of your questions, we will be more than happy to help you out. For now, I'm gonna choose Do Not Schedule, close this up, and here for the other advanced options, they are pretty much self-explanatory, so if you read them, you will know what they do. For example, this one says export each property in real time as they are created, right? So what this means is that when you create a new property here, this export is gonna run. So this one says export properties only once, so you can hover on the question marks if you have some questions, or maybe the title is not that clear, right? But it basically means that when you run this export and you export these 74 properties, well, if you run that export again, it won't export these properties because it already exported them, right? And you have this option to only export the properties once enabled. So, as I said before, guys, this is pretty much self-explanatory, so just go nuts here. And if you have some questions, just contact our support team, and we will be more than happy to explain this and help you out with anything you need. All right, so I believe we're ready to run this export. So let's click here on this confirm and run export button. And there you go. This is very fast because we don't have that much data, right? So we can download this as Excel, or we can download a bundle, which is a zip file with everything you need and all of this data with WPL import, right? So let's just download our Excel file and open that up. And here it is. We have property name, description, which remember we changed those columns. And then we have availability, listing type, price, amenities, map address, shared address, and all of this seems to be good. Here we have our gallery, right? Oh, guys, and remember we have here our repeater field, and it seems to be good. So that's great. Here in WPL Export, we have the scheduling options again, and this Terminal Apps tab with a video and link to connect this with Zapier and do some other crazy stuff with Zapier, right? You can connect Zapier with over 6,000 apps. So that's pretty powerful, and you can maybe set this up in Google Sheets, or maybe have this file emailed to you, or upload that to Google Drive or Dropbox or whatever. Guys, just be sure to check out this video if that's something that interests you. And for now, just thank you for watching, and see you next time.